Hey everybody, welcome to The Good, The Bad, and The Ugly. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Tiffany.
It's a show where we take comics from my long boxes and then talk about them for a while and then determine which one's the good, the bad, or the ugly. This theme, if you can call it that, is media crossovers with comic characters.
Just call it comic crossovers.
Comic
Woo!
crossovers.
Hey, I called it weird crossovers.
It is weird. So we've got the Topps card franchise Mars Attacks, in addition to other franchises Mars Attacks appears in.
Mars Attacks.
The Savage Dragon.
I was like, what is it crossing over with?
Yeah.
We got the crossover of the Ren and Stimpy show with the Amazing Spider-Man, and Marvin the Martian meets the Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
We did a bunch of these over at DC recently.
Yeah.
So, here we go!
Here we go! Hold on to your butts.
Hold on to your butts while Ben tells us all about Ren and Stimpy.
I think Sal should tell us about Ren and Stimpy
Why?
and Spider-Man.
Is it
Well, 'cause he
Spider-Man?
loves Spider-Man.
All right.
And also, who's it written by?
It's Dan Slott. Dan Slott wrote this. This is the
Oh,
first.
yeah?
This is the first Dan Slott Spider-Man comic ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's amazing.
That's
I
awesome.
started piecing that
Yeah.
together when I saw it. I was like, no way.
Yep, he was like on the bottom of the barrel in terms of writers, and he was like, "Can I do this?"
Was he also writing Ren and Stimpy?
Yes.
Okay.
He was on Ren and Stimpy, and he's like, "Let's do a Spider-Man crossover."
I was going to say, because the Ren and Stimpy dialogue in this is really good.
it's pretty accurate.
It's very
He's
accurate.
probably like, I want to write Spider-Man.
Yep.
Well, the great thing about
Here's my proof that I should.
we'll talk about this in a bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, let's...
All right, fine. Then Ben can tell us about Mars Attacks, the Savage
Well, I think
Dragon.
Tiffany should tell us about Martian Attack Savage Dragon. Does that not work?
No.
I can't do that?
You can't do
Dang
that.
it.
No.
No.
All right.
Sorry.
Deal with this.
We've got
Good luck.
Mars Attacks, Savage Dragon, free Mars Attacks cards inside, which are not there.
I
This was
suppose.
Yeah.
this was written by Dwight Zimmerman, art by Claude St. Aubin. So this is
This is like a big event that's happening over
Yeah.
there, right?
Yeah, Mars Attacks Image is happening at the same time. This is like a tie-in, but it's also a 4-part miniseries that only has Savage Dragon
Right.
and the Mars Attacks.
But it references
aliens.
the Mars Attacks comics, and it
And their
references
universe.
Yep.
the Image event that's going on.
Yes, it does. But you don't need to read either of those to know
No.
what's going on.
Beg to differ.
You do not.
I was completely lost reading this
All you
book.
need to know is
have
that
to
Mars
jump into
Attacks is a
this.
thing.
Well, if you've never seen the Mars Attacks movie, and I don't know if Ethan
I
has.
saw it, yeah.
Okay, then you know what's
This
going
is
on.
not the movie, though.
Hang
No.
on.
So I don't know what's going on.
I haven't.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
So I don't know what's going on. I
So-
also don't read Savage Dragon. So
No.
I'm just
Right.
like,
Wait, has anyone on this table read Savage
Read
Dragon? Show
Dragon?
of hands if you don't.
Oh,
What?
haven't read Savage Dragon? Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
none of us have.
Exactly.
so I got the
Yeah.
two for going though.
So there we go. I know that Savage Dragon is green and has a fin on the top of his head.
Yes.
That is it.
Yeah.
I think I also know that he was created by Eric Larson.
Yes, he was created by Eric
That doesn't really help me
And he's a police
at
officer.
all. That is a fact that doesn't help me at all in this,
Well, let's
in
see
this
if
book.
Ben can explain the plot of this book to the viewers.
Well, so the first thing for me is that I watched the movie Mars Attacks. I don't know if there is more history to Mars Attacks, how old it goes, but in the
I think it was
comic,
invented for that movie, right? It's
No.
not.
No.
It
Mars
wasn't?
Attacks
Oh.
was a card series, and then a comic series, and then a movie series. Well,
But-
movie.
we start off and we're like, you think that Mars is a nice place, but it's not. Because there are these Martians
Yeah.
that are going to take back the universe.
That's all you need to know.
They've been
is it,
hiding,
Like,
yeah.
they hide under the surface. They
Yeah.
let people think that it's
Yeah.
empty, and that's all you need to know. And then it's not.
That's not all you need to know, because there's intricate details about. Well, go ahead.
The politics.
yeah,
of,
they make it
Yeah.
complicated. They make it super
They
complicated.
make it super complicated in the beginning. So there was apparently two leaders, Komodath and Telion PR.
Why do they look different?
What?
Here,
They're
okay.
different species
I
or
don't
something.
know. But I also don't care, and I'm just gonna move on.
I
Like,
assumed it was in the movie, so I was
it's
like,
not.
Nope.
No.
What?
it's
One
in-
of them.
You only get this guy in the movie. You don't
Okay.
have the other one.
You don't
it's
have
just
you
that
don't have the fish man.
No, you don't have Angler Mouth. They're essentially
there are two
leading
of
the attack on Earth when this woman in black lingerie or a sexy outfit or something comes through a portal of some sort,
Yeah.
Yep.
explodes, kills both of them,
One of them.
Both.
Oh yeah.
No, one of them.
Yeah, it only killed
He,
one of them.
he, the other one. So the red orbed one is injured in the explosion, but we need to keep him alive because there has to be exposition that explains what happens.
Like
next.
why this lady who identifies herself?
Why does it happen?
That is true. So
cares?
it's not killed in the explosion. The red orbed one then also comes through the portal.
Yes.
Telion PR.
Yep.
And he's wearing different clothes, and he's like, "You don't understand. We attacked, and we only conquered half of Earth, so
Yeah.
I got rid of
It's
Komoda."
it's an alternate dimension.
multiverse.
Yeah, it's an alternate
It's
reality.
Like another version of Telion, whatever the hell, comes through a portal. He's like, in my universe, your friend that I murdered, that I murdered, no, we were enemies, and I killed both of you, and I'm replacing you, and I'm gonna actually take over the world.
So
Yeah.
he calls people in, or rather they just come in anyway, and he like feeds the other version of him that was injured some pills, very clearly capsules, to like kill him.
Yep.
Yeah, it's his cyanide.
And they walk in and he's like, anyway, we're going to continue attacking the Earth under my control alone, and the Earth will be destroyed.
My question is, does that one come from the movie universe?
No, there's no movie
Okay.
universe. No, forget about the movie. The movie is totally
Okay.
disconnected from this.
Okay. He comes from the other, I guess, comic
From
universe.
the Mars Attacks comics.
Okay.
They're both from the Mars Attacks comics universe. Just that there's multiple dimensions. There's multiple. It's just consider
Right,
the
but
multiverse.
what
thing.
I got from this was that like this is a alternate universe from the main storyline of the Mars Attacks
Oh, they
comics.
refer to
Well, it
the
has
Mars
to
Attacks
be.
comics.
Because
Yeah.
Savage Dragon is also here. And he's
Well,
not.
yeah,
Now,
I
because
assume he's not in the main
in the Mars
line.
Attacks crossovers, it's all the same Mars Attacks. So it's
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, they lay siege to Earth. They've been attacking for a while. They catch Earth by surprise. They are horrible and they're killing things. You see them at the Lincoln Park Zoo. You see them at Wrigley Field. Clearly they are attacking Chicago.
Yes.
Yes.
That's so we can establish. What
Because that's where
happens next.
Savage Dragon lives.
And then this normal Joe hanging out at a ruined baseball park.
What's his
Giving
name?
some background. Stan Zabolkansky.
Is he a Savage Dragon character?
I don't know.
Because
If
like
he's
I
not,
think he's just a guy.
then why?
I think
It's
he's
just he's
This
just a Cubs
this is
fan.
a giant move the car Jordan.
Yes, it is.
Because for a second I was like, this is like a godlike being or something. This is like
Oh, yeah.
someone who's here to record
Because he doesn't
and
care
watch.
about
Yeah.
the like
He's
carnage
not
going on
fazed.
around him.
This is-
And
nope.
he
It's another Tuesday.
And he walks away. He's like, look,
Yeah.
I was here for a baseball game.
Yeah, and
And
then
there's
just
no game,
explosion
so
happened.
Guess
what
I'll
am I
go home.
supposed to do? Free hot dogs, though.
Yeah, that's right.
I stole them.
This is
Yeah.
random dude. He's
random
just like,
dude.
hey, I've taken up some panel space.
Yep.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
only
Gotta
taking
get
up
to the
space,
end.
but it just starts talking baseball.
Funny.
at us.
He starts talking about history, like the history of the Cubs.
Yeah.
Oh, this is like that time. Blah blah blah.
Nothing like that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the Cubs
ha,
were
ha,
playing
ha,
against
ha.
the Padres.
Yeah.
And they were and the Cubs were whooping them. And then the Padres came back with their pitcher, and
It's
it
so
ruined
funny.
and
It's
they-
just a
It's
slice
completely
of life
worth.
fun thing.
Yeah.
It's just, you know.
Moving on. The cops are getting creamed,
Yeah.
and this guy just hightails it out of there. And one of the officers is calling in for backup. And everyone's just like, I don't think you understand. The entire Earth is being attacked. You calling for backup is not a big priority. And he's like, but there are cops down here who's losing their lives because of this. And someone calls over the radio like, backup's coming in. He's like, what? No, not you! Because this cop has a real big problem with Savage Dragon.
Yeah,
He's
they're-
a freak.
He's well, they are called freaks in this universe, and it's a derogatory term. But there's also a team called Freak Force, made of people who have similar abilities to Savage Dragon. The guy on the Force is obviously the J. Jonah Jameson to Savage Dragon Spider-Man. Like it's this whole thing.
Yep.
Okay.
Sergeant Neisman?
Yeah, Niesman.
Niceman.
Well, he's not a
But
nice
he's
man.
not.
No, he's not. I would take. It probably is Niceman just to make it a joke.
So, Savage Dragon literally just grabs a Martian,
Martian.
a Mars attack.
green
A
hand.
Mars man.
A Mars man.
Mars
a Moon
man.
man.
Then suddenly, a supreme commander for this sector comes down and is like, "Whoa, Agent Dragon! I don't know how we got crossed, but don't worry. I've told the forces not to attack. Come back and we will debrief you."
Yes.
Right.
And he's like, "Wait, you're telling me I'm a Martian?"
Yeah.
And then Neisman is like, "I knew it.
Yep, that's
I
all the
knew you
evidence
were
I
no
needed."
Good bad guy."
Yeah.
Give me pictures of Savage Dragon.
And he just unloads on him,
Yeah.
which doesn't matter apparently because bullets bounce off this guy.
Yeah.
He's
really
like
tough.
he's like Hulk.
Yeah, he's really tough.
He's Hulk,
He's tougher than
except
bullets.
with a fin.
So
And a cop.
That's exactly
I don't know what they were supposed to do. By the way, in this, all the Martians are using guns that fire bullets.
Yeah, they even show the casings falling.
Yeah, that's just...
I was very confused by that. I'm
Dumb.
like, it should be ray guns.
They
I
very
agree.
specifically skeletonize people in the movie. It's like iconic.
I know.
Very weird.
And in the comics also.
Yeah.
So
Let's
It's an but it's an alternate universe,
Yeah.
or not.
The movie, Tim Burton did not read a single one of those comics or look at a single one of those trading cards that they're based off of.
Oh.
Tim Burton does not care about comics.
Okay.
So he shoves the sergeant out of the way. He picks up a lamppost and like tosses some rocks in the air and just baseballs it up because baseball.
Yeah,
Yep.
well, it's Wrigley
Tops
Field.
comics.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my God, I didn't even think of that.
So you get this wonderful splash page,
not
and this is the best thing about this book.
Easily the best
It's
splash
awesome.
page on this episode, or on the show.
Of all of these Martians just being obliterated
Yeah.
gruesomely
Yeah.
by him hitting them with rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
like
even
this
know
one
this.
where the tendril brain. comes
I don't know if you
flying
know this. Brains are basically like traditional Chinese noodles, where they are just one
unravel.
strand that is just coiled like a yarn ball.
See, I don't think
For these
brains are
Martians,
like
it
that.
is.
Yeah.
They have brains totally different than ours.
It's,
you guys-
they
they
look
just look the
identical
same,
when,
but
you know.
they're actually
You've got heads coming
structured
apart.
differently.
You've got brains being blasted out, eyeballs
Yeah.
going everywhere,
Yeah.
limbs.
Well, it's like because
blood
they're
and
Martians,
gore.
we can have fun
Exactly.
showing how
Yeah,
savagely they are killed.
By
Savagely.
Savage Dragon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So,
And also a dragon later.
Like all dragons, he kills by hitting rocks into
That-
them.
Can I leave now? I made a bad joke. Can I leave?
No.
No, that's not
I
how
always
this
have
works.
to stay.
Yeah, he's got to stay after
You
everything he
gotta,
says.
you gotta think of how to
That's
top
all I
yourself
make.
now.
Oh.
So the supreme commander of that quadrant heads out for reconnaissance, and then Savage Dragon's like, "All right, it's time to kick ass and take names." And then a giant robot comes in, and he jumps on top, and he kills the Martian inside, and he steals the robot, and he starts killing Martians with the robot, and then a giant robotic alien spider is there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like Wild Wild West,
Right?
Oh yeah.
It's just ever one-upping the last
Yeah.
page you just saw.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And it's like, Mars Attacks is based in B-movie sci-fi.
Yeah. Yeah. They would have things like this
Yeah.
in their arsenal. Yeah.
So, at some point at the end of this, he gets taken away, or they have a teleport. This was the confusing part
Okay.
to me.
The conceit is, Dragon has friends in high places and other freaks and other characters who have access to like dimensional portals and rocket ships and whatnot. So Dragon's like, I gotta go to Mars. I know that Image is being attacked by Mars attacks, but I gotta go to Mars and like find out if my origin is that I'm a Martian. Spoilers, it's not.
Yeah, God, no.
And I gotta
Right.
go like take the fight to the Martians. So he
calls
thinks-
Vanguard,
Yeah, he
right?
calls Vanguard, and Vanguard's like, no problem, and he helps him out and he sends him to Mars. Then it turns out that it's not Vanguard. That it is actually a hallucination that the Martians have given to Savage Dragon, and that like they just kidnapped Savage Dragon.
Yeah, and he's straight up having like entire conversations with himself,
Yes, exactly.
being the other person.
Right. So it's like we thought that he was going willingly, but it turns out that the Martians must have gotten one up on him, unbeknownst to us and Savage Dragon,
Yes.
and then they abscond with him.
Oh, thank God, because this whole thing was very confusing as to like that guy didn't look like Savage Dragon,
Like,
but
wait,
he's
where
Savage
did this guy
Dragon
go?
is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
It is. It
he's
is.
calling Savage Dragon Vanguard.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
wondering if
I don't
there
even
were,
know
like,
who
multiples
Vanguard
of
is.
Here's the thing. It has taken me 13 years to realize that's how that ending happened. But when I read it this time, I was like, oh.
Well, then why did you argue with me when I said it was not straightforward?
Well, hang on.
Well,
like,
I
oh,
did.
no, it's-
because
you
I
I'm
did
an
get it,
adult
though.
now, and I did get it.
There we go.
Well, I got it.
Yeah, and you got
I
it.
didn't get it. Ben didn't
Okay.
get it.
I mean, like, it's not straightforward
got
as much as they refer to characters you've never seen, but like,
That's-
Savage
Yes.
Dragon kills a bunch of Martians and then goes to
That
Mars.
part is straightforward.
That's literally the book.
I couldn't even tell he went to Mars. I'm
Yeah,
like,
See
where?
Mars right there.
No, like literally.
Is that Mars?
They're trying to use himself to convince himself that he might
That
be a
he might
Martian,
be
and
a
then
Martian.
he'll fight with them. Like,
And they
that's all
also
they're trying to do.
talk
Yeah.
about the cloning process, which means they're gonna make more Savage Dragons.
the cloning. I was like, oh, so there's
That I got.
two of them.
So there's two of them
That's like a
talking to each other?
clone.
No.
Yeah.
By the
okay.
way, I read all 4 issues of this series in one sitting
Okay.
today. It's not about Savage Dragon at all.
Really?
It's about the woman who appeared and exploded in the first 2 pages. Colleen McKay.
Oh.
That's
What?
an alternate universe version of a character that Savage Dragon will meet in the next issue, who then gets Gen 13'd into being a sexy Fairchild-like character, who then gets a bunch of guns and then goes on a one-woman quest to kill the Martians at the end of the series. Savage Dragon goes home, and no one ever refers to it ever again. It is a backdoor pilot to a character in the Mars Attacks comic book universe.
So Savage Dragon is a vehicle
Yes.
for her.
They are using the rampant popularity of the Savage Dragon to propel the Colleen McKay character.
Ah!
That's the
You
I don't
can't tell us
normally
that. That's
give
not
you-
fair. Now it's like.
Now it's tainted with extra knowledge.
yeah. But it's been in a vacuum for me forever. So it was actually really, really amazing to be able to complete the series. But like Dragon's origins, the whole like, oh, where does he come from? That's a dangling plot thread for the beginnings of Savage Dragon's origin. So it's like that's actually kind of neat that they were like, maybe he's a Martian. There's no way he's a Martian though, and he's no.
Yeah, no, he's obviously
They're
not.
not gonna tie him to some other company who doesn't own Savage Dragon.
No, of course not.
So why do the Martians think he's a Martian?
They're just pretending.
they're
they're lying to
Oh,
him to trick him
that's
into coming
part
with
of
them
the
so they can
deception.
use
It's like,
him.
no, you're a deep cover agent.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I am?
Yeah.
So they lie to him
kill,
and they
use
also
organs.
project images into his brain.
Yes.
Okay.
So Tiffany, tell us more about the Marvin the Martian meets the Martian Manhunter.
Okay, this is part of the DC Warner Brothers / Looney Tunes crossovers that they did. They did a whole bunch of these. This is not the first one of these that I have read.
No, in fact, there's one that's universally hailed. It's
Batman and Porky Pig. No,
No.
Batman and Elmer Fudd.
Fudd.
But they're at Porky Pig's bar.
I think so, yes.
Yeah, which
written
the-
by Tom King.
Yeah, but I also enjoyed, not really, it's fine, it's hilarious, the Jonah Hex Yosemite Sam, because Yosemite Sam is written hilariously, and it's just funny to see Jonah Hex, super serious character, deal with the rootinest, tootinest, six-gun shootinest character in all of the Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
But this one, I can't remember, this is part of the original.
Yeah, that's the first
This
run.
is one of the first runs, because then they came back and they did another set of
wasn't
them.
gonna put-
This one is Martian Manhunter and Marvin the Martian, written by Steve Orlando and Frank J. Barbier,
Yep.
with
Sure.
art by Aaron Lopresti. And then there's a backup in it as well.
Yep.
This is a sad story about John Jones. John Jones is a lonely Martian on Earth. He's always been lonely. He's the last of his kind.
Yep. If only
Even
he knew
with-
someone else who was having that same problem.
Right?
If only he could have like a league of friends.
Right?
Well,
but,
it's not the same.
but to be fair, and like we've seen this go back and forth, like because he doesn't look
Like
standard,
us.
like you
And
know,
in order
like,
to make him look different, he'd have to change his.
yeah. So like you know, we've seen it where like people don't like him so much. You're a Martian, you're an alien, even though Superman's also an alien. Superman looks like us.
Yeah.
He's the ideal version
doesn't
of,
look
of
weird.
mankind. He's totally
Right.
cool. It's fine.
Man is in his name.
Right?
You're
To
a
be-
manhunter.
To be fair, the Martian Manhunter also has like telepathic powers, and I think that gets people a little itchy too.
Yeah,
It's just
that's
like, oh,
kinda
you can go in my
scary.
brain.
I don't even know if what I'm thinking is real right now.
Yeah.
It could be you.
Exactly.
I actually make all of you hate me.
Right?
Makes me feel more comfortable.
So, Jean finds this like hidden message, like as he's watching like TV one time, and like it's a Martian message, and he's like, "How could this possibly be? I have to find out. I have to learn more." So he builds this gate that
you like
originally
to know
had
more?
saved him.
Yes.
He builds this big like Stargate.
Stargate.
Build the
He
Stargate.
built a Stargate that originally had saved him from Mars, you know, being destroyed. And he opens it up, and through it initially, he thinks nothing's coming through, and
Yeah.
then out steps Marvin the Martian.
Or a DC Universe version of
It
Marvin
is
the
a very much
Martian.
a DC Universe version of Marvin the Martian, and he's got the whole gladiator helmet, he's
Yeah.
got the whole
Circle,
thing.
no
does-
face.
Yeah.
His helmet doesn't look like has a brush on the top. It
No.
just looks like a gladiator helmet.
yeah, it's
He's like a
just-
more legit version.
He really is. Martian Manhunter's like, I'm John Jones. Hi, how are you? This is crazy. You're a Martian, you say? Neat. I'm the last of my kind. And Marvin's like, oh, okay, I was almost too late, but cool. And then the gate breaks, and like Sean's like, oh no, crap, okay. Well, don't worry, like, you know, you're here with me on Earth, and I'm totally fix the gate, and it's no problem. And he's just like, you know, now we don't have to be alone, and that's great. We can like help humanity and stuff like that. He's like, Marvin's like, no, honey. I don't know if you understand this. That wasn't what my message was all about. My message wasn't about me being lonely and wanting for people to reach out and like to join up. My message was to all the Martians across the multiverse who are dealing with Earth and how much they suck, and I'm going to offer to help destroy Earth Because if you know anything about Marvin the Martian, that is all Marvin the Martian wants to do, is, of course, destroy Earth. And Sean's like, I don't want to do that.
What?
No, I want to help them. And he's just like, no, I know you think you want to help them, but like, so did my people, and only I understood that that was bad. And in the long run, they ended up destroying my people, but I got them back. So, you know, they can just cram it.
Right.
Oh, you have more people that are alive? No.
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 And I destroyed their rabbit warrior.
Yeah.
I don't think he says that. But
No, that doesn't
I have to
happen.
assume.
And he's offering to help John get past.
John, you
Yeah,
understand.
his naivete.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just like,
You have Stockholm Syndrome right now.
Yeah.
yeah, like he's just,
You get over it.
You
Yeah.
don't get it. You'll see. It's totally cool. And then he pulls out a like very standard Marvin the Martian style item. It is a pill. It literally says just add water on it. He drops it in a puddle, and from it, a spaceship, like a literally like disc spaceship, is poofed out. And he's just like, here's the thing. I only brought one of these. Just keep up or not. I don't care. I'll show you. You're gonna see. You'll see what this is all really about. So Marvin kind of takes Jean on a tour of Earth through his eyes, where he's just like, look at they suck. They can't even handle traffic. Like they can't keep cars moving. They're just the worst. And then
Agreed on that one.
Well, yeah,
His
we agree
arguments are
there.
solid.
But
yeah, pretty solid. And then Marvin pulls out another. I was like, this has to be in this
Yes.
issue.
There's no way he's not.
No
gonna use
way
This.
this is not going to be in this issue. He pulls out the Illudium Q36 explosive space modulator.
Dynamite.
And he's going to use it to destroy the Earth or destroy the city or destroy whatever.
Yep.
And Sean's
piece
like,
of
give
it.
me this. What are you doing? But it's already been ignited, and he throws it up into the air, and a plane flies over, and it hits the wing of the plane. And the plane immediately starts going down, and
Wow.
Sean's like, oh
You're
my...
telling me this thing that was supposed to destroy the Earth just took the wing off a plane?
Well, yeah.
Marvin, what was your plan?
Well, I think Marvin is going to use a bunch of them,
Yeah.
presumably.
Just showing
Yeah.
He's just
like,
like,
I'm just going to cause mayhem.
yeah, that's just it's
Yeah.
fine.
Which
You'll
will
see.
eventually result in the destruction of the Earth.
Exactly.
Probably.
It's,
I
they
didn't say
can't,
how long
they
it would
can't
take.
stop me.
It's also the most unlucky throw in the history of throws.
Right.
Yep.
Well, like,
Well, the entire world just rains on Johns, apparently.
John doesn't always have the best luck.
No.
And like he's kind of like at times he's a victim of circumstance, but he's also a victim of like a lack of understanding of how things work sometimes. But anyway, plane's going down. Jean's like, I have to fix this. This is my fault. So he goes to catch the plane and do a standard Superman style thing. And typically people be like, oh my gosh, it's Superman. He's going to save us. Cool. And they're like, that guy and that little dude in that plane totally attacked us and he sucks.
Yep.
One, how did you see that? You were in a plane and then suddenly a wing blew off of it.
And like Jean comes in, he's like, everybody cool? Is everything okay? And they're like, you suck.
Get out of here.
You attacked us
Nobody
and I
likes
hate you and I
Yep.
wish you were dead.
He's like, I could give you context if you let me go into your minds.
And they're like, get out of my
They're
head.
like, what?
Yeah, that was the wrong thing to say.
I can calm you if you'd like.
Probably
Yeah.
just do it.
How dare you?
Yeah. Don't ask. Just
But that's why it's like he doesn't
I know, but he's
understand.
just a good
Yeah.
like,
guy.
it's
He's
just,
like,
he
well, it'd
can't-
be a violation. I wouldn't do it without
So
asking.
then Jean flies away and he's just like, okay, that sucked, but Marvin can't be right.
Right.
Like he doesn't
Right.
have hope, and that's the problem here. So then he goes off to Area 52, where Marvin the Martian is laying siege to it because he's just like, aha, you like greedy jerks, you buried all your best weaponry underground, and I'm gonna get it and screw you. So immediately Jean shows up. He's like, you have to stop, Marvin. This is crazy. And the military's like, hey, that little guy's now got a big Martian friend. Kill him too.
Kill
and,
all of them.
and Jean's like,
Damn it.
Like, no, stop.
You know who I am.
Yeah.
You've heard of me.
Should.
I'm friends with Superman.
oh,
I'm
is he
his
here?
friend.
Nah.
Is Superman here?
He's busy.
No.
Is he here? He's cool.
Kill that green
But I'm
skin
his
monster.
friend. You've
No.
seen
Wow.
me help him.
I don't think so. You're not Batman.
That doesn't sound right.
And you're certainly not Wonder Woman, that's for sure.
But are they friends even at this point?
Yeah.
What are we in?
Oh yeah, no,
continuity?
it was like, no, it was only a couple of years ago.
Yeah, this is literally, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're shooting at John. John's trying to stop Marvin. Marvin's making everything worse. In fact, John tells him, he's like, making it worse.
Yes.
Right.
You're not helping me. I'm obviously going to stop you at some point, and then it's
'Cause
just
you're
going to be
lame.
bad for me.
Yeah.
Huh. So while John's trying to calm the military down, Marvin's like, "Ee," and he just goes to do the thing he wanted to do, because in this universe, Marvin's very effective,
Yeah.
Yes.
which is not like him at all. So he goes into this room filled with like superhero space weapons, and he's just like, cool. And he finds the biggest, most ridiculous looking one that looks like it's like a missile
Drill?
like, launch drill thing on a tank. He's just like, Nice.
Oh my, yes.
Yes, he says that.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Oh, I know. I'll just drill into the Earth's core or something.
Right?
That
Yeah.
could be what it does.
So Jean helps somebody out of like a melted tank or whatever, and he's just like, "We're not."
He
I'm
melted
not-
the tanks to stop
So
them.
they're stuck in there, so
Yeah.
he uses
Like,
Stop! I'm trying to help you melt.
you have to stop, guys. Come on. He's just like, I'm not your enemy.
Yeah.
We have to work together to get rid of this
Even though it
Martian.
just melted your tank.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
not
I was
joking.
trying to. You're shooting me. You see, I had to stop you from shooting me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The military proceeds to release Solovar 5000.
Yeah. It's a thing in this book. I don't know.
Right?
It's a robot.
Who's meant to have like
robot.
big tusks, but in this panel, it looks like he's like, "Hey!"
He just looks thrilled.
Yeah, he's just having a great time.
I'm jazzed.
Yeah, so he immediately attacks both the Martians. He's like, "Stand down, Martians!" And like, Jean's like, "I have this under control. Nobody here is making the situation any better."
Right.
Right.
But Jean really hasn't done much.
No,
No.
he's just reacting.
But like, he's just reacting. And he's also trying to keep everybody happy, and that's
Yeah.
kind of a mistake there.
Yeah.
So he does attack Solovar, which it's like basically it's a mech suit. There's a dude inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
He exposes him. He's just like, "Okay, you have to stop. I got this." And like the guy's like, "I would do anything to protect my people." And Jean's like,
Yeah.
"A little lesson for me. I wanted to do that too
Yeah.
for my people. You're like my new people." Okay, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So Marvin's let loose on a local city, and Jean shows up and like he means business, and he's just like, "Okay, like you're beyond reason. I totally get that now." And then
I have to kill you.
yeah, well, he's like, "You got to get out of here."
gotta
I'm
end this.
like, he's basically like, "I'm going to rebuild the gate and I'm going to send you back through, and that's going to be it." And he's and, like, Marvin's like, "You'll understand once I defeat Earth. You'll totally get it." He proceeds to give him his backstory again,
Yeah.
and then he pops out of his little tank. We never actually see him use the tank.
Nah.
Instead, he pulls out his ray gun and he zaps like Jean, and Jean's like, "I am no match for him. Like, there's nothing I can do to stop him. He's got
tech.
yeah, his tech's more
his weaponry.
advanced."
Yeah.
So
It defies logic.
it does, but it also is seemingly like burning him, and
Yes.
Martians do have a weakness against fire.
Yeah.
So Marvin instead attacks him using his telepathic powers and basically goes in Marvin's head and proceeds to allow Marvin to see that he blew up the Earth and he has won. And then they put him in like a Loki style like glass
Brig.
cube.
Yeah.
And they're like, "All right, like, is this permanent?" He's like, "Not really. Like, normally this move would take a lot of the Martian brain to
But
use."
he's an idiot,
But,
so it takes like a little bit of
just
effort.
a little bit. So like, I'll rebuild the gate, we'll throw him back through, and that'll be that.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but like, normally I can only do this once. But don't worry, even though I've done it a little bit, I can still do it again in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This can still be in continuity.
Right, or it doesn't matter. But so then he shakes the general's hand, and the idea is that it's just like they're building bonds, and that
Yes.
like
Yeah.
while Jean doesn't have a home, this could be his home. And then just briefly, the backup is drawn more in the style of the Looney
It's
Tunes.
like, well, Marvin's in the DC universe. Let's see what John would look like in the
In the
Looney
Looney
Tunes
Tunes universe.
It looks
Yeah.
ridiculous. Marvin's taking a break from destroying the Earth, and he's looking for other things to destroy, and he spots something, and it turns out it's Jean. And they go back and forth being like, "I'm a Martian, you're a Martian, wow, we're both Martians, cool." And that's really funny because like, you are protector of the Earth, and I want to destroy the Earth, ha! Anyway, like, Jean proceeds to go down his laundry list of powers, and he's just like, "I don't have powers." And he's just like, "You seem lonely, I can tell by your brain. You know what? I'll go through your memories and I'll present myself as something more friendly." So he transforms himself into Duck Dodgers and Duck Dodgers' sidekick and Bugs Bunny. And like Marvin's like, "I have to have these powers." So he uses his electronic extrapolator, and which is just a big brain.
Big brain,
In order to
lightning.
figure out what it is that Jean's weakness, he of course realizes it's Chacos. Card over wherever to my Chacos recipe.
Yep. Make your own. They're delicious.
And figures out that he needs to get a hold of them, so he calls for K9, his Martian dog, who then brings forth that super annoying girl from the Looney Tunes cartoons,
God,
who
yeah.
has the Chacos. He uses the Chacos. John does not go crazy for them. Instead, he ends up, like, Marvin ends up burying himself in Chacos, failing to do what he intended to do, which was to gain Jean's powers. And instead he's just like, "I'm just going to destroy the Earth because you love it so much." And then he turns around and there is a like gift statue there from the Earth saying like, "For Marvin with love, your neighbor the Earth." And he's like, "They do like me."
His heart grew 3 sizes.
He's like, "I should be a good friend and I should protect the Earth." And then he proceeds to jump in his little spaceship that says like Mars Neighborhood Patrol and "I Love Earth" flag hanging off the back. And it turns
like
out
he was already ready.
yeah, it turns out it was actually Jean pretending to be a statue.
Oh
of,
my God! So we can't keep the statue.
It's a gift,
Yeah.
and then like
he's
he
gonna be real mad when he comes back.
Sean
and
and
the statue's
I
gone.
could just make one.
yeah, Jean and K9 are saying they're like, "Nice," and it just says, "That's all, folks."
Yes, it was.
There you go.
Boom.
Yeah.
So we got Martian
Martian Manhunter and Marvin the Martian.
Marvin the Martian.
2 for 1.
Yeah,
in this
yeah.
book.
Sure, it's a price
2
of one.
for 1.
By the way, real quick, you do get to see him use the drill. That's what in his head destroys the
Oh
earth.
yeah,
Right.
but he
Yeah.
doesn't really
It just goes like
use it.
funk, and then the earth blows up.
Yeah,
Like,
but he doesn't actually use
no,
it.
in real
because,
life, he does not use it.
Because Marvin has no idea that thing would work.
Yep.
If he just imagines, I guess I just drill it
Just
into
sit
the earth.
there and like
It's
look
like
at
a
things and go like,
crane.
"Rrr," and just push buttons.
There are all these levers. What do I do? I'm trying everything.
All right.
All right,
This is it.
Yep.
The big one.
here we
I
go.
know. Yeah.
Dan Slott's Spider-Man.
Dan Slott's first Spider-Man issue ever.
That's
and
what we're
Ren
going
and
to call
Stimpy.
this episode.
Yeah, Dan Slott's first Spider-Man comic ever. It's Ren and Stimpy number 6. Obviously, it is written by Dan Slott. It's got art by Mike Kazela, who approximates the style of Ren and Stimpy in a pretty consistent
good.
and silly way.
Yeah.
Ren and Stimpy are gonna have breakfast. They're out of powdered toast. They do this the traditional call for powdered toast man. If you don't know what that is, look up Ren and Stimpy on YouTube. Instead of powdered toast man, Spider-Man shows up because he's pitch hitting for powdered toast man because powdered toast man's mind's been altered or taken over or whatever. So Spider-Man helps them out by webbing their toast.
He creates web
He
toast.
creates web
Yeah.
toast, yeah.
And then he gets a distress call on his Powdered Toastman's spare pair of Elastishorts, which of course is how Powdered Toastman gets his notification. It's like a fart joke.
Yep.
Yep, Spider-Man inflates, and then he realizes he needs to go out, so he leaves and he swings away. Ren and Stimpy eat their spider toast. They think it's disgusting, which is exactly the way they like it. Laughs ensue. Spider-Man runs into the headquarters, and he bumps into this guy who's explaining that Powdered Toastman's been taken over by the serial offender. A lot of puns.
Oh my God.
For cereal
Non-stop.
and
And
sugar
bread.
and
Yeah.
bread. But the serial offender is a donut man who's taken over Powdered Toastman's mind.
Dr. Doe Not.
Thank you. Not no.
Right, but he is.
Right. No, but he's like a bat.
Doe Yes.
Yeah.
Just doesn't roll off the tongue as well.
So he controls.
Hey! Sorry, real quick. Do you see what the street is?
It's Yancey Street. That's actually a recreation of the Yancey Street sign that came with the original Toy Biz The Thing action figure.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fun.
So
Nice.
Spider-Man decides he's going to intercede. He also makes a lot of meta jokes that would be made today, but they're made back then, where he says, maybe I could team up with my arch nemesis Venom and together we could defeat him, which is hilarious because he never would, but he does in this time period. So it's Dan Slott making fun of bad decisions in comics. And then he's like, or I could design a suit of spider armor. I'll team up with Venom and make some spider armor and then can package the whole thing in a glow-in-the-dark hologram cover. Jeez, where's my head today? Why would I do that? And it's because
I love that
that's
joke.
how it works. That joke lands.
It's
and
he had that idea and they're like, you hire this man and have him write Marvel comics.
that joke ages like a fine wine. It's only funnier as it goes.
Yep.
Spider-Man and Powdered Toast Man engage in a fight. The fight is gross and cute and fun.
The fight is great.
I'm not going to get into the intricate details of the fight. Suffice it to say that Spider-Man brings down a coup d'etat on Powdered Toast Man by kicking him in the bread basket, aka the stomach. But then Powdered Toast Man encases him in snot, which will freeze him in place unless he can find the inner strength to free himself.
What does it harden like?
Like a
Like
scab.
a scab on a yak's behind on a hot August morning. Thank you.
That's stuck in my head.
Yeah.
That's a Ren and Stimpy level disgusting joke.
Yep. This whole book is a very
Straight
accurate
up.
depiction of a Ren and Stimpy
It's a cartoon
episode.
you'd never see.
Yeah.
But so Spider-Man needs to see within him the strength to free himself. So he thinks of Aunt May, and then he thinks of Mary Jane, and then he thinks of his kindergarten teacher, and Stan, his bowling partner, and
Who
a
looks
bunch
like
of
Stan
other
Lee.
and of course a whole bunch of other jokes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then-
things that he wouldn't
Right.
think about.
6 panels worth of other jokes, and then finally he's freed, and he says, "Man, usually it takes me all the way up to my wife. Usually,
Right.
I think of Aunt May.
I must
think of
be
Mary Jane,
slacking.
I must be slacking off." So then he ultimately shoots Powdered Toast Man with milk, which pretty much knocks him out of it.
He gets soggy in milk.
He gets soggy. That's right.
Yeah.
Donut hits Spider-Man with a pipe in the back of the head.
Hilariously.
Yeah, but Powdered Toast Man then eats more powdered toast, which gives him the strength of Powdered Toast Man.
So,
Yep.
So he punches Donut, and then Spider-Man's like, "Hey, leave some for me!" So he webs him up. And then Ren and Stimpy show up, and they're like, "That was awesome.
Yeah.
we could make a team." And Spider-Man's like, "Yeah, no, this guy sucks. Powdered Toast Man is the worst." And he's like, "What? You only beat me because I was being mind controlled." And then Spider-Man just gets punched in the face through a building. Like Powder Toast Man's like, oh, you think you could beat me? Wham!
You're visiting my world.
He says, you think you could beat me in a fair fight? And then he
Yeah.
sucker punches him and says, see?
The rest of the issue is kind of like a PSA, like last-minute joke, where Ren and Stimpy want to become Spider-Man's sidekicks. Ren's dressed like Punisher. Stimpy's dressed like Wolverine. Spider-Man's like, I can't accept sidekicks. I don't have powers. And they're like, oh, no, we have powers. Stimpy's power as Catboy is that he can shoot projectile hairballs. So Ren is the pupillator, and his looks can kill, as he puts it, which doesn't work.
Well, you got to describe what he does.
All right, he looks at Stimpy so hard
His eyeballs
that his
shoot
eyeballs shoot out of his skull and then hit Stimpy in the stomach, but then they're stuck there, so they're like across the room,
They're just like drooping on
which
the floor.
causes Spider-Man to throw open his mask and then leave. Then we get one more story as a backup, which is a strength contest between Powder Toast Man and Spider-Man, where Stimpy is like, who's stronger? So then Stimpy lifts up Powder Toast Man's armpit and smells it, and then he lifts up Spider-Man's armpit and smells that, and he says Spider-Man's smell is stronger than Powder Toast Man, much to everyone's embarrassment.
So we finally put in a book that, yeah, Spider-Man's stronger than Powder Toast Man.
Yes, but he also...
You asked Dr. Stupid.
Right.
Yep.
Yes, thank you. 'Cause that's his
That's
persona.
his, yeah.
That's his,
The
like,
great thing about this book is while it's a Ren and Stimpy book,
It's all
like Dan
Spider-Man.
Slott was just like, I just want to write Spider-Man.
Yep.
So how about I just write a Spider-Man book?
There's no Spider-Man is an unwilling participant in a
Yes.
Ren and Stimpy episode.
Yep.
This is not like Ren and Stimpy. We're in a Spider-Man comic.
No,
Nope.
this is
No.
It's
Spider-Man shows up in an episode of Ren and Stimpy.
And he's
Straight
like,
up.
how do I get out?
and he makes like more jokes about the comic industry and Spider-Man within it than like any other parody comic I have seen in a long time. He also makes like references to classic 60s Spider-Man like one-liners and a bunch of other like fun little details. It's worth the price of admission alone, especially if you can find it in a 50-cent bin. So there you have it, everybody. Those were the three medias. We have cards, TV shows, and other TV shows. Or movies and other TV shows. I don't know why I did this.
It was to torture us.
So, okay, not only are we going to try and determine which one's the good, the bad, and the ugly, but
Yeah.
like, which one is the best execution of the premise?
What was the premise?
You know, like Mars attacks Savage Dragon. Is that lame? Ren and Stimpy meets Spider-Man. Is that like does that work? Marvin the Martian meets John Jones. Like, which one was the flimsiest premise? Where it's like, oh, that just does not work. You are trying too hard.
That one.
Oh, the Savage Dragon one?
Yes.
That's so goddamn.
That is the
Yes.
flimsiest
These both
premise.
succeed in
I felt like
interesting
this
ways.
was the flimsiest only because like there's all. This took me maybe 12.
I think
minutes
this
to
is
read.
the best.
Well,
Can we break it down?
I think it's
because
the
you
most-
get two.
There are two there.
Yes.
You get
We're
two
talking about the
stories.
main one,
I
right?
think
Talk about
that
the
I think
main
this is
thing.
the best
Oh.
premise because it includes use of a DC premise being the multiverse.
Right.
Like Marvin the Martian
Right,
accepts that there acknowledges there is a multiverse, and then there are many different types of Martians. And so when he
Yes.
gets here, he's just like, okay,
No,
you're this Martian.
This is the most real comic book I've ever seen in
Yeah.
this in this lineup.
Yeah, in,
That's a legitimate comic book,
Yeah.
but the less said about it, the better.
right. This one to me succeeds the most as
A Ren and Stimpy comic.
in that it is literally just an episode of the show.
Yep.
If
Yeah.
Spider-Man showed up, I couldn't believe it. I'm like,
Yeah.
this felt like I was watching
The show.
again.
Yep.
And it was like it was like there wasn't 20 years in between.
absolutely.
It like took me back in time. And it was like, that's exactly what would happen if
That's-
Spider-Man showed up on
Now,
Ren and Stimpy.
Yes,
to
I
be
was
exactly.
like, what is, how?
did the same thing for me though in both instances because I
Yes.
think in like Marvin being translated into the DC universe is straight up Marvin the Martian.
Yes.
And that was like my mom's one of my mom's favorite was Marvin the Martian and Duck Dodger. So I'm very well versed in Marvin the Martian.
Yeah.
And then the backup to this, straight up, I was like,
Looney Tunes
Oh, yeah.
cartoon.
I'm like, this is literally if they were like, just put some fucking
Yeah.
DC superheroes into.
By the way, they've done that.
Into the cartoons.
They literally did an episode of Duck Dodgers in the 24th and a half century where the Green Lantern shows up.
But that's the later show that
It
they
is the-
created.
it is the later show,
But like
but
this,
they still-
that reminded me of like if it was literally an episode instead of Bugs Bunny,
It's
John Jones.
John Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he Bugs Bunnies the hell out of
That's why I
Marvel.
like the backup in this one. I thought the backup in the DC story was better than the actual story.
Well, the backup is more of an honest portrayal of Marvin the Martian.
Yes.
This one gives Marvin too much dignity. Infinity.
Well,
Also, you
yeah, it's a cracked mirror version of Martin.
You
I mean,
tell
it
a
is.
very base story about John as well, because like everyone's like, "Oh, yay Earth, boo that Martian. We know you.
It's
we
a
still
very
hate
rock
you.
simple premise.
No one will ever give you an inch."
But it's also a good depiction of like what you're getting into if you're ever going to read a John Jones
yeah.
Martian
Yeah.
Manhunter book.
Yeah.
Like that's the crux of this character.
We all hate you.
Nobody likes him, or he thinks
Or he's
that.
isolated.
Yeah.
He's
He feels
alone.
isolated.
He's not just
Yeah.
alone in that he's the last Martian. He's alone in that like people of Earth don't even accept him,
Right.
even
Yeah.
though he's trying to help them all the time.
So
Yeah.
which one's the
Yeah.
good, which one's the bad, and which one's the ugly?
I don't
mean-
think there's a bad here.
I
think I
agree.
feel like there's two goods and an ugly, but I know we can't do that.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
what I feel like.
Right. These two are actually incredible in their execution. They both, I think, flawlessly depict their premises,
Yes.
and that sucks.
this is for me one of the ugliest books we've ever done.
So
I liked a couple moments in it, but I'm like, Mars Attacks. I like Mars Attacks, the movie. It's ridiculous and
Yeah.
fun, and this to
Did
me
you know
was
that
like,
it's actually more of like a bureaucratic Machiavellian like psychodrama about like the human condition that's actually just couched into violence and gore? No. The double page splash is amazing.
It
though.
is great. That's the best
he
part of the
doesn't
book.
Visually.
He also doesn't nearly have enough rocks to accomplish it though.
Well,
He's
he's
like
holding, like,
four
four.
stones.
Yeah.
He hits at least 20 Martians with
Look,
them.
if you want,
Maybe
they
a couple
break
more-
apart.
They break apart. They
All I
break
was gonna
apart.
say, some of them were behind each other, like Indiana Jones. He got like 3 in one
yeah.
shot.
But this is garbage.
Yes.
It's straight up garbage.
Wrong box. Recommendations? Anybody?
Sure.
Wrong box. Yes. I hate it.
I don't care enough about it to put it there.
I
sorry.
then yes. Throw it in there.
Okay.
Get in there, you bastard.
I think
Wrong box.
I think we've read way worse things, but I also don't care about the property. So like,
Well,
to
that's
me,
the
I
thing,
was
like,
like,
it's
I'm like, that's just a mess.
you know what it is? They failed so hard in getting you to like Mars Attacks or Savage,
Dragon.
And apparently the story is not even about it.
Well, no, it's not.
As you told us.
Oh no,
but
it's not.
I didn't want to read more of this.
No, I after having read all 4 issues, I could safely say you're not losing out on anything.
Mm-hmm.
But it also, I've read Savage Dragon. It is a fair and accurate depiction of what you can expect from a Savage Dragon comic, and that doesn't help. Is that this is a honest and pure depiction of Savage Dragon as a book back then.
If Stan Zabelkansky is any
Indication,
marker,
yeah.
then yeah, I don't want to read Savage Dragon.
I love Stan Zabelkansky. He should be like the avatar of the wrong box, where like occasionally there's this old baseball player who just shows up and bores you.
He was one of my favorite parts of the book after the spell,
The double page
Yeah.
explosion.
because I'm like, this is silly and fun, and nothing else that happens
No.
was silly and fun. I mean, it was silly but not fun.
Yeah, okay. We got a wrong box.
Yeah.
And I
Out of
feel bad.
here.
I feel bad about like trying to pick between them. I'm not going to. I'm going to abstain.
You're not going. You're going to abstain.
Yeah, I like both these
I don't know
books
if you
enough.
can do that.
I created the show. I can do whatever I want. I like them both. I like them both so much. I'm not going to really argue with it.
I like them
think,
in very different ways.
I think this succeeds more in it. Like when you look at it, you're like, I got it. With this, I didn't know what to expect, and I was
I
like, this is
did,
pretty...
but I had ventured into this world before.
Yes.
So like for me, I was like, yep, I know exactly what I'm getting.
I also wasn't disappointed though, and it's like,
Yeah.
and for the price of admission, you also get a fun little Looney Tunes joke. And you're like,
Yeah.
that's kind of cute.
I really like that you get both.
I do
You
too.
get the two different
because
mirror images of each other.
Because what you
Yeah.
have to do with this is like something has to give. So like either Spider-Man has to change
Yeah,
to
he has
fit
to be.
into
He has to be a joke.
yeah, like he has to fit into that world,
Yep.
and they had to make Marvin fit into the DC universe.
Yeah.
But then they're like, you know what? Let's make Jean fit into the
Yeah,
other
let's
universe.
let's be fair.
Yeah.
I
I
have
don't wanna
no
see
idea
Red
what
Oh,
they
I
would
don't.
do.
I don't either. But I just thought it was interesting that they understood
Yes.
that quality
Yeah.
here, and they
No,
were
it's
like, all right,
true.
let's give you both.
Well, they both managed to do that.
Yeah.
If that's the case, that's a better book because I like the backup more. Because apparently I don't like
Ren and Stimpy?
John. No, I don't like John's universe where like no
Aw.
one likes
Everyone's
him.
Yeah, that's fair.
And
Yeah.
the fact that everyone is always just like, "You're a bad You attacked us." Over and
No, I
over and
hear ya.
over again.
Yeah.
It was repetitive.
Yeah. It
like
was
it
a
kept
little
happening.
repetitive.
And
You know what it is though? It's you gotta understand. Poor Jean here. He's made some big mistakes, but he's also usually behind the scenes because he's usually up in the watchtower. Because like, so you know, like most people don't get to see him doing his thing.
No, it's
you can also turn into a dragon, so that kind of upsets people.
but the
Yeah.
backup where he's in the Looney Tunes world,
Yeah.
and Marvin's like, let's see what's going on.
Cute
Yeah.
and
All
fun.
that kind of cut.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
I had a
Yeah,
lot
it
of
was
fun with
delightful.
that.
Also a Jocko's reference. is
Yeah,
always
it's a
The
it's
Chacos
a-
was hilarious.
it's a
And
good-
that little scout girl, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes.
What
Yeah.
I liked about it in the first part of it, They're like, here's a Marvin the Martian thing. You got the pill, you got the Illudium Q36 explosive space modulator, and then the other one they're like, and let's give Jean a nod too.
Yeah.
Chacos, they have to be in here.
Yep, everyone gets their little
that's true.
signature thing. What I liked about the first part of this book is that as I was reading it, I immediately got what they were doing with Marvin, and I could hear the Looney Tunes musical cues in my head
Right.
as things were like,
Yeah.
and like it was just like it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I laughed out loud reading this book. I laughed out loud reading this one too. But because of like it's perfect. Like Marvin's just like, I'm going to do this. I'm running off, and John's like, whoa, I gotta deal with
You can't just do that.
Yeah,
Well,
John's
Yeah.
trying to like spin plates and hurt
yeah,
cats.
exactly. Like he's just frantically trying to keep up with like the madcap
Right.
action,
Yeah.
but it's not quite as zany and insane as the
Looney
Tunes world here.
Yeah.
So it's believable.
Right.
It's a believable version of the backup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually really like in the backup when Jean is like, "Oh, your planet." Like he's trying to describe what Marvin's on. He's like,
Yes. It's a platform floating in space.
What is this?
Yeah.
No, it's very nice.
Yep. It's just a red
Platform.
Yeah.
and it grows as is needed by the animator.
Yep.
Well, isn't
keeps
it a ring
going.
around the
It's-
planet?
I don't even
Oh,
know.
yeah,
You
that's
don't
right.
see
I
what's
think
in
it is
the
a ring around the planet.
You never know.
Yeah.
It's
I think in the original version you might remember it being a ring. In any case.
I also love that telescope.
Yeah, it's
the
pretty great.
gigantic,
So
like, insane
ridiculous.
telescope. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a lot
But
of
yeah,
nice little.
I agree. I think they both are
work.
successful.
Congrats to both creators for giving us some fun entertainment.
And not giving us Mars Attacks Savage Dragon.
Hey, I'm actually really happy to say that that you didn't get 2/3 crap like normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
This was a nice
that's nice.
change of pace.
Yeah. We'll change things up again next week. So
Wow.
Don't
we'll
worry.
see you guys next time with another episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Tiffany.
So long.
Goodbye.